Wire being my first job as an actor, my first audition ever. And other times the feeling is that this world ugly. Don't touch me, I'm unlucky. The Pakistan, listening to songs where they say all I do is win.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl Bree, right here on the Coaches Plug podcast. I know I've been missing for a minute, but y'all been holding it down, still watching videos. I appreciate that. Today is a special interview. He's a legend. He really needs no introduction. Introduction is due because of his work. You may know him from the hit HBO show, The Wire, Saints and Sinners, The Streets. Work goes on, and I'm so happy. I'm so thankful to have him on this platform. Welcome, Chaney.
Hey, Bree, what's going on?
What's up? And I'm really excited for this conversation, and thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, for real.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it as well.
Just to start off, tell people where you're from, and how did you grow up and get into acting? What inspired you to start acting?
So originally, I'm from Forestville, Maryland. I represent Washington, D.C., and I grew up, like I said, in Forestville, Maryland, Clinton, Maryland area, with my mom, my dad, my sister Candace. Right. And what really inspired me to get into acting, a lot of people don't know, starting off as a hip hop artist. I started off as a hip hop artist and dancer at the age of 8 years old. So, throughout the years of just performing around different parts of the world, different cities, different states, I caught the acting bug later on in my career when I was about 19. And wow. Like I said, performing at different venues across the country. And then later on, The Wire being my first job as an actor, my first audition ever. That was how the whole acting, gig came in. Because like I said, I had already been in the industry and I was winning talent shows just for being a hip hop artist and an artist. And then Linda Townsend, who was the woman responsible for submitting my headshot and my resume to Pat Moran and Associates, who was casting for The Wire back in 2001. She submitted me. I remember going in there reading for Pat Moran, and I originally read for Weebay. Shout out to my man Hassan Johnson. I originally read for Weebay, and when they called me back later on, weeks later, they said, "Okay, you didn't get the role of Weebay, but we cast you for this character named Poot."
Why they put you down here, yo? You mess with the count or something? I killed the nigga.
So that was how the whole acting bug came about, and I was I'm just honored to be able to say, man, I've been on one of the greatest shows, one of the greatest groundbreaking shows of our history, and I'm happy that I'm able to say that.
Your first acting role was The Wire. The Wire is just a legendary show. How did you feel getting that role, knowing that, this is my first time acting and I'm about to be on HBO? Or did you even know how far the show would take you?
To be honest with you, Bree, I didn't know that, the show was going to be considered one of the most groundbreaking, critically acclaimed shows of all time. Right. And for me, it's a great feeling of gratitude and really being thankful that out the gate, I came out the gate with a show that strong, that huge. And even, 23 years later, which The Wire celebrates its 23-year anniversary, June 2nd of this year. And to be able to say, I played 5 seasons on that incredible show, and it totally put me in a great space as far as career wise, because not only am I able to star in other TV shows, but I'm also able to produce my own television films and movies. So, just to say that I was on The Wire for 5 seasons, never got killed off, one of the last men standing, that's a blessing within itself.
It is. And so this is the last question about The Wire, and we're going to move on. But it's some legendary actors that was casted for The Wire as well. So just speak on your experience working with them, your relationship now. Do y'all still link up?
My brother, J.D. Williams, who you all know who played Bodie, that's my brother. Hassan Johnson, who played Weebay, and one Big G Glover who plays Slim Charles, and so many other cast members, Melvin Jackson, Nathan Corbett, Tyrell Baker. We're actually doing a Wire reunion in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Shout out to Our Corner Pizza. Yeah, shout out to Our Corner Pizza. Shout out to Drinking on Sunday, the companies that promoters that got together and booked us for that event. So we still hang out, you know, other than just doing the reunions for the Wire, we still are real tight. You know, everybody is busy, but of course we make time, you know, whenever we can to link up, to, you know, do events together and to just build as brothers. So I was really, you know, I'm still happy that 23 years later, I'm still able to kick it with my guys.
Reunion, I know that's gonna be crazy. Like, are you excited for that?
Yeah, I'm really excited for the reunion. The reunion is gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I know it's gonna be dope. I can't wait for everybody to really, you know, experience all of us together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All of us together. That's a lot of great camaraderie. That's a lot of great energy. And we just, you know, we doing this for the fans. We doing this to let the fans know we still here. Everybody's still healthy, you know, and well, and we living our lives, and this is an encouragement also for actors, actresses, and creatives to never give up on their dream. Just keep going.
Inspiring. After The Wire ends, like, what was next for you? Was there, like, you know, another role, or did you have other aspirations?
Well, after The Wire ended, I always tell people it was a tough time for me because I just thought, you know, after a huge show, coming off of the success of a huge show like The Wire, I thought Hollywood was just going to call my phone and I was going to be in all these movies, you know, and it didn't happen that way. But one thing I did realize is, you know, The Wire it made such an impact where I can use that as a stepping stone and start creating my own. So what I did was I just partnered up with people in my city, you know, Washington, D.C., Forestville, Maryland. We started creating our own films, our own, you know, videos and different things. Because like I said, I'm a hip hop artist as well.
Ended up playing pool, how my story begun. They say everything happens for a reason. What was one episode ended up 5 seasons.
Yeah, they label me underrated. I label them uneducated. I'm the best that ever did it. I'm the best that ever done it. Who won it? Y'all be fronting up in this industry. When they gonna give me respect for killing every show?
And I kind of created a buzz in the streets of DC. Like I stood on the corner of 13th and F Street and sold my merchandise out the trunk of my car, you know, for five years straight from 2010 to 2015. And that buzz, it's the reason why I have a fan base today. You know, everybody now is going to chaneyway.com to purchase, you know, items and different things of that nature in my product and my fragrance. But, you know, just putting in the work led to me getting a call from George Pierre, you know, who was casting for Saints and Sinners at Bounce TV. I booked Saints and Sinners.
I am changing, but it takes time. And right now, I gotta handle my business like a real man and survive out here in these streets.
Yeah, Pop, but I want to do more than just survive. I mean, for once in my life, I just want to live. And if that means breaking the rules, then so be it.
So from 2015 to like 2021, 2022, I was on Saints and Sinners, you know, and I relocated from Washington, D.C., me, my wife, my son, to Atlanta, Georgia. And I've been living in Atlanta for the last 8 years. And, you know, of course, Saints and Sinners had a 6-season run along with a movie. I was able to be blessed to do 6 seasons of that. So you got 5 seasons of The Wire, and then you got 6 seasons of Saints and Sinners, plus the Saints and Sinners movie. And then after that, you know, came BMF and Swarm. You know, I played Bleak on BMF. I played Kent and Swarm, and then the Keisha Cole biopic, and then We Own This City. And, you know, looking back on my career and still being in the business and still being active and still pushing the culture forward, I'm blessed, I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, you know, to still be that example to inspire.
Definitely. And, you know, I gotta clap it up for you because, like, you're really a legend. And I'm not just saying that to, like, you know, hype you up, but it's for real. Like, your work speaks for itself.
Thank you.
You know, every role you play, you're killing it. You, like, really take on that role, and you're really just kind of putting your own spin on it. You still got Trey. It's definitely, like, you know, a standing ovation to your work, for real.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I just seen a movie, Omission. that you was in as well.
Happy as shit, man. See, it's only one problem. But
And I had the perfect guy for you tonight.
you sure?
Kill Calvin.
I'm the escort.
I guess that's one hell of an omission, huh?
Oh, the light bulb just went off. Why don't you just get a divorce?
Cause for real, I really feel like she the one, bro.
Look, Marcus, but I
What you want?
They sound like a whole damn STD.
Come in.
So just speak on you doing like Tubi movies. How you feel about that? Because people feel like it's like independent or low budget, ghetto. But how do you feel about doing Tubi movies as an actor?
Well, doing movies like Deadly Attraction, you know, that's my latest one.
Is everything okay with Ebony?
You are not her type. You should really stop trying to get with your boss.
You're a plastic surgeon. Where did you study? You asking a lot of questions. Are you dating me or are you dating her?
Excuse me. What has gotten into you?
You need to be loyal to me.
Shout out to Okereke and shout out to Regina Okereke. I played the character Troy in that. And if you look at the quality of Deadly Attraction, you know, of course it's on Tubi, but people have to understand Tubi is a platform for independent actors, actresses, and creatives to put their content up. You know, definitely it has to have great quality. And then it's not just us getting a check up front from the producer or the director or the writer. We're able to eat on the back end. So just think, you know, if I get X amount of dollars up front to do this Tubi movie, but I'm making money for the rest of my life, which is residual income, you know, from starring in films on Tubi, it's nothing wrong with that. It's like, you know,
not at all.
Most likely, you know, 10 times out of 10, I'm probably living better than the average Hollywood actor or actress that's out there in Hollywood trying to wait for Hollywood to open the door at a huge studio or a huge TV show. It's like I'm creating my own with my friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Tubi is designed. They designed this platform for us to upload the stuff, and you got to put in work when it comes to promo. You know, so people see us on social media every day promoting our films, promoting our short films, television shows, and things of that nature. So now it's like, okay, now that we got that going, if I could create generational wealth from movies like that or certain deals that might come into play from people seeing me on those type of movies, it's nothing wrong with that at all. I would suggest any actor or actress that's watching right now to do Tubi films. Yeah, and then we got to understand Tubi is the streets. You know, everybody watches Tubi right now. Like it's mind blowing. Like everybody watches Tubi. If you and it's a wave. It's a wave. And if you feel like you too good to do films like that and you rather stay broke, you know, whatever, then that's on you.
Yo, I love it. I love it. And that's the truth because I'm a big fan of Tubi. Like I watch from like when I say ghetto, I mean you could see how the camera is like turning when they got the police, right?
Yeah.
And it don't say police on it, but they saying that police like that's
now it's certain Tubi movies, that's just like whatever, you know. but then you got some that's actually good, you know what I'm saying? And that's what people need to really understand. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Now speak on some of your legendary like roles for movies because like one was Streets, right? You was in there with Meek Mill, Gilly.
My dog.
I want some shots, you know what I mean? Shut the fuck up, nigga. Y'all motherfuckers sitting up here laughing because y'all think that shit funny, huh? Bam was pulling 10 G's a day out this bitch. And y'all motherfuckers can't even pull together 10 G's a week between all of them. So whoever the fuck it was that tried to kill Bam, we gotta handle that shit. Chief, did he say anything to you about who hit him?
Not really. He said something about they dropped the name Meek. Said something about going to Club Lux this weekend.
So like just speak on that role. Do you even remember like how that came about?
Yeah, Streets was definitely a great movie. It was a great role for me. It was in the beginning of, you know, Meek Mill's career before Meek really, you know, transition into a huge mega star. And Jamal Hill, he wrote that film, he directed it. Shout out to Charlie Mack. Shout out to my brother Todd Wolf, who they all collectively cast me as the character Troy for that. And I had fun playing that character. Philly holds a very special place in my heart because when I started in the business, of course, not started in the business, but when The Wire kicked off, you know, Philly was one of those cities that really embraced The Wire, embraced Traychaney. I did a lot of big events out there. Shout out to my man Dolphin Coley, Big Dog Productions. We had a lot of fun in Philly. And playing that role, it was the first time that they let me, you know, really show my beard. Like, cause for a long time, you remember on The Wire, I didn't have no hair on my face on The Wire.
Right.
So I guess when I was finally able to grow a beard, they're like, yeah, that's the Philly thing right there. Keep that. You know, so I just had fun. I had fun playing that character Troy. It was great. And I was able to work with Jamal Hill again in Secret Society, you know, with Miyasha Coleman and Rich Coleman. So yeah, it just goes to show relationships in this business is so important. You know, you want to build great relationships with people so that later on down the line, you all can experience longevity together.
That's the truth. And I believe that too. Like, networking is important. How you carry yourself, you know, how serious you take yourself is very important. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with that. Now you are very much a family man. You've been, you know, in your children's life. Just speak on, like, give some advice to, I guess, the young father that may watch this, or like someone who's trying to do better, but, you know, haven't.
Well, the advice that I would give to fathers is really to just, you have to be there for your kids. You know, you have to be there in the physical format. You know, you have to be there mentally for your kids, emotionally for your kids. They have to see you. You know, they have to hear you. And that's so important. You know, I come from that. My mom and dad, I'm blessed to say I had my parents, you know, from the time I was born, you know, to now, even as an adult. So being present in your kid's life is so important. There's so many negative things going on out here in the world. Our kids need us. I've been married to my wife, Aisha, for 20 years. You know, we got 2 amazing kids. Malachi, Martina. We got a granddaughter named Morocco. And, you know, family for me is very important as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a grandfather, you know, to just really set the example for other men to look and say, yo, I don't care what else is going on. You know, the industry comes second or the industry comes third. God comes first, family, and then the industry, you know. So if you got it structured that way, if you got that foundation, if that foundation is that way, then you're able to really, you know, receive all the blessings that you need.
That's greatly said.
It's all about fathers continuing to step up each and every day, setting the example, not just being the head in the household, not just, you know, being a man, being a king, but set the example for your family. If you're married, set an example as the man for your wife to look at and say, yeah, I don't have to worry. My husband is on track. Set the example for your kids to be able to look up to you as a hero, you know? And if your kids really, they pay attention to everything, whether you know it or not. They pay attention to every single thing we do as parents, even if you don't think they are. So it's very important to stay on point. Stay on point when it comes to life. Like even with me tapping into this whole Traychaney conscious diet, we're working out every single day, reading 1 book or more a month, eating healthy, and really taking care of myself. I always say, people treat you the way that you treat yourself. You know, and still that applies to whether you got a wife, a husband, kids. The way that you treat yourself, everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. So it's important to hold yourself accountable for everything that you do and make sure you're doing it at the highest level possible. Because right now it's about reaching the highest level of success we can possibly reach, however that looks. It doesn't always have to be material things. It doesn't have to be about money. Life itself is success. If you're able to wake up every day, breathe, call your loved ones, tell them you love them, that's what success is. You know, everything else comes. You know, everything else is coming to fruition if you get on point here. You know, you lock in.
Yeah, and you did mention that you've been eating healthy, which we see on social media. Yo, I didn't know that was really like a lifestyle of yours, you know? Like, how did that come about? Like, what made you be like, let me take my life, you know, serious, start working out, eating healthy?
Well, you know what? Mentally, here's the thing. If you don't have discipline, if you're not consistent, if you're not determined to create a better life for yourself through the grace of God, it's like, what are we doing this for? I'm somebody, I love setting an example of somebody that's positive, that's pushing the culture forward. And I just felt the need with the Trey Chaney conscious diet. Working out is important. Health. You know, you could have $1 billion right now, but if you're not healthy, if you land on your deathbed, that money ain't gonna mean nothing. So health is important. I take my health very seriously. My relationship with God is very serious. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people don't understand that type of stuff makes me happy, you know? And people don't understand they have to do things that make them happy. So many people try to please others. People are looking for happiness outside of themselves, and happiness, as we all know, is within. So we got to start locking into what makes us happy. Going to the gym makes me happy. Eating healthy makes me happy. Reading 1 book a month makes me happy. Spending time with my wife and my kids, my mom, dad, sister, aunts, uncles, that makes me happy. And that has nothing to do with the industry.
Right, that's you as a man.
That's the mentality. I've tapped into a certain mentality now where I'm like, wait a minute. All that chasing money and chasing the industry, I'll forever be a legend. Right? And I'm not even saying that to boast or brag, but it's like, it is what it is. Right. So once you reach that part of life, it's like, okay, the industry is unpredictable. If sitting, chopping up grilled chicken salads, drinking 5 bottles of water, waking up at 5 a.m., going to the gym, if that's really fulfilling for me, along with everything else that comes from when you start locking into self and really getting to know yourself, so many other things have manifested within these past 4 months. It's like, wow, you mean to tell me this is all I had to do? You know what I'm saying? It's like that conversation with the universe and that conversation with God. You like, oh, this is how it's done. Yeah. Without discipline, without consistency, without determination, if you're not willing to sacrifice time, you might need to reevaluate yourself.
That's definitely true, but the way you just speak is just so real. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a New Yorker, so I could definitely appreciate the realness and the way you speaking, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? And that's true though. Like, you definitely got to take yourself serious. Now for me, I do have to work on the discipline and balancing just motherhood and prioritizing my own self. You know what I'm saying? So that was some motivation for myself as well. So thank you.
Nah, it's love. It's good.
Yeah, for sure. So now I know you talked about, you know, you're an entrepreneur, your book here. The truth you can't betray, right? Now, what made you come up with that title?
Well, the truth you can't betray. The reason why I came up with the title is because every single thing in my life that I wrote about, like how we're having a conversation right now, it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's not one lie in the book. So it's like, when you think about the word betray, I can't turn my back on what I've done, even the mistakes that I made, the lessons that I had to learn from making mistakes over and over. You know, I still can't turn my back on what I did. All I can do is focus on where I'm headed to, which is a positive road, positive route. That's all I can focus on now. So it's like the truth, my life, I can't betray it. And of course, Trey, you know, Trey Chaney, that's who I am.
I also got your sweater that your wife made, which this is a dope sweater.
Yeah.
You know, this is really like a dope sweater. It says Queen. Now it's real hot out here where I'm at, so you know I couldn't put this on.
And that's available on ChaneyWay.com. And like I said, we got so much merch on chaneyway.com, and all we doing is continuing to push people and push the culture and make people, you know, understand that the power of independence is where it's at right now. And if you independent, if you're an artist, do your thing.
Now speak on your music, right? I love it. I think it has an old school feel to it. I appreciate, you know, that type of music. You have some music like Momentum.
The ones feel it on stage, I kill it. Attack it like a minute, survival of the fittest, definition of a hustler. Yeah, I live. I got that momentum, momentum, momentum. The more I climb, the more they feel them. Momentum, momentum, momentum. The way I grind, the world gon' feel it. Momentum, momentum, momentum. The hustle in my blood, they know it's in them. Momentum.
The whole Life of a Hustler album, it's 22 songs. It's on chaneyway.com. So when you think about records like Momentum, which is a great workout record if you're going to the gym, or it's just a great hip hop record speaking on fitness, family, and just having fun and making hip hop fun again, you know, the family aspect of it. And consistent freestyle, you know, I'm very proud of these type of records. Know the Feeling was a record that I did, the HBO We Own This City actually picked up in one of the scenes that I was in on HBO Max on We Own the City when I played police officer Gordon Hawk.
My outfit, I stay on my shine, show you how to grind, double up my hustle, legendary icon, pieces to the puzzle. Whoa!
And yeah, just to have my first real major placement and me not just getting compensated as an actor, but also as a hip hop artist, that was definitely cool. And out of all of the 21 songs, it's at least 15 videos that shot. You know, shout out to my man I Am Don Juan, who shot an incredible 15 videos for me. Me and his work ethic and chemistry is just so tight. It's like my producers as well, CR The Show, Don Cox, Naughty Land Music, my writing team, Everett Roundtree, E1. You know, these guys are like my guys, you know what I'm saying? They put together everything, you know, when it comes to the music and just how I want things to go.
How do you come up with the concept of like your next song, right? Like, is it based on what you're going through, or is it like, all right, like, let me listen to the beat first, let me come up with words?
Well, for me, it's a combination of both. I love great beats. I love great production and music. But sometimes I'll be having words in my head. Like I might have a verse in my head and I'll be like, I wonder what would this go to? And then, you know, if a producer sends me something that I feel that it would fit, then that's like the perfect collaboration. So it's a mixture of both. You know, I love just great music. I love music that's definitely gonna make me dance. I love music that's thought-provoking. I love music that can this like uplifting positive music. So it's just, for me, it's a combination of both. And whatever space I'm in, it comes from a real place. Like it's gonna come from a real place. Like Momentum still is a record that'll always, you know, from my catalog, will always be big for me because it's really me showing you what I do every day. I work out. I spend time with my family. I love doing nice things. I love nice things, you know, so it was that was a reflection of who I was, you know what I'm saying?
Now, one more question about music, right? So you got a lot of music by yourself. Do you wish to collab with somebody, or is it like you on the path to like just trade?
Well, no, I would love to collab, you know, and I've collabed with people, you know, my man Uji Leo, shout out to him. We got a record out called She Geek. I collab with Uji on that. I collab with my man Deuce Double. You know what I'm saying? We Go Therapy. We got a record out for that. Another record that we did called Beautiful Struggle. Like I've collabed with, and people reach out to me all the time to book me for verses. They like, yo, can I get a verse from you? And yeah, I'm open to collabing with people.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Because I know I listened to your album, right? And there was mostly songs by yourself, so that's why I asked that question. But every song was, I'm telling you, was so dope. And it just had that old school feel to it. And I really just admire, like, you know, that creativity of keeping it classic, you know, because I like music of today, but I feel like it's more about like the producer the producers now are really getting, their credits of their work, because the beats is like crazy nowadays.
Right.
I think it kind of overshadows the words sometimes. So I like how you put it together.
No, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up the interview. Is there anything that you're working on that you want the people to know about?
Yeah.
What can they look forward to from you?
I just finished my film When Worlds Collide. Shout out to my man Deron Alexander, who wrote a powerful piece. My man Al, who directed it. Omar Soto, who shot. My man Lester. And then I got to give a huge shout out to the executive producers. Dana Freeman, Anthony Clark. Anthony Clark is my brother. Y'all know we worked on Hidden Lies together with Food with the Camera. But Anthony Clark and Dana Freeman, those are my partners for life. Shout out to my man Brett Rosen, who did a Naughty Christmas Story with me. This is on Tubi right now, a Naughty Christmas Story. Hidden Lies is out right now on Tubi as well, starring myself, Clifton Powell, J.D. Williams. Shout out to my man Food with the Camera, who actually, wrote it, directed it, I executive produced it, and I'm the star of it as well.
This shit is bringing back so many memories. It was 20 cops swarming this building.
Check this out. Out now, here, free, and we're gonna run it up and get you your shit back. All right? The word on the street is Malcolm's back home. Is that true?
I want people to really go to my website, chaneyway.com. I got so many great products on there. I want people to really support that. And Trey Chaney One YouTube channel. Y'all know I got the Wire Nostalgia 30 clips, over 30 clips of just me, Weebay from the Wire, Slim Charles, Michael, Tristan McWilds, who we're in the pit. We're in Baltimore. I got that's like a whole little web series on there right now. And then, like I said,
I'm gonna have to check that out. I love web series.
Definitely.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, then just tapping into, like I said, people could follow me on Instagram. Trey Chaney Vision is TrayChaneyVision. And I'm all over social media, just really trying to continue to push that culture.
For sure. Well, I definitely appreciate this conversation. It was an absolute pleasure. I know you pressed for time because you just was telling me like you was doing the audition, so it's like you stay working, and yeah.
But I know you working too, Bree. I'm proud of you too, Bree. You keep doing your thing, and like I said, anybody that come across my desk, I'm gonna send them your way so you can get the exclusive first.
Well, I definitely appreciate that, for real. And I love to stay locked in with you. Man, I'm just giving up for you because, like I said, like you're a legend. Your work speaks for itself.
Thank you.
And I just love how inspiring you are. Even though obviously, you're an actor, and I'm definitely into the radio field. I could get inspired by anybody. So. I might just get that the body mist too. I ain't gonna lie, I might just get that as well.
Yeah. It's on there. It's on Chaney.com. Right. Yep. Matter of fact, it's right here. You got it right there. Yeah. Definitely hit up Chaneyway.com. Grab a couple of them joints because it's for men and women.
Right.
And, you and your male friends, your mom, dad, your peoples, you gonna want a couple because nobody knows this. This is the first time I'm mentioning this on your podcast, but it's only available on Chaneyway.com, and we getting ready to do some big things with a lot of different celebrities, and I definitely want you to have parts in it.
All right, guys, this was the Coach's Plug podcast. You know how it goes down. This was a special interview, and I appreciate him for just joining me because, like I said, man, he's a legend and he's busy. So let's just clap it up for him one more time. Celebrate him, give him his flowers because he deserves it. It's Trey Chaney, and follow him. Follow his website. Just follow his music, his journey, support him. And of course, with love, we out.
Thank you.